This is chemical.
Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and start out by telling you that a lot of my audio files got messed up when they came to recording my voice, so my first 3 episodes I completely lost everything that came wrong with my voice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of watch the view with you, let you know some information about the mod. It's going to be a little bit sketchy at first, but we'll get it taken care of. After that, the issue has been fixed. We are recording for everything else with my actual in-game audio. So let's go ahead and get started. We are obviously starting out with the Exile Mod background and music, sets the tone for the entire mod, and we're going to go from here. So I'm going to go ahead and get loaded into the server. I'm going to cut that out, and I'll see you in game. Alright, be back in a bit. Alright guys, and here we go. We're going to go ahead and take a good look at this. Again, as I said before, I am voicing over this, so it is going to be a bit rough at first. Alright, we're looking at the actual spawn-in screen. As you can see, there's already a pretty good amount of preset locations. These are all big cities. They don't really spawn you in the middle of nowhere like a lot of mods do, which I appreciate. Because, you know, when you're spawning in, you know, let's be honest, the first place we land on an island, this is going to turn into a settlement. And it is going to turn into a city over time. People are going to want to control the influx of people coming in. We got a trader right here. It is circled in blue. As you can see, that trader is the only trader on the map as of right now. That can be customized by server owners in the future, I'm sure. But due to that trader being the only one in the area, you know, we can imagine that a spawn like a Theor over here that we just selected is going to be a very popular place for people to spawn in. They want to be able to get to that trader and experience what's going on. We're going to be parachuting in now, and as you can hear, there's already gunfire. There is going to be gunfire here on pretty much every player's server. This is how you enter the game as of right now as a default. I don't think this will be changing. I personally very much enjoy the fact that we're entering the game like this. Yes, and like I said, my goal for today is just to play the game. I'm going to try to avoid a little bit of combat. We might run into it, we might not. But I'm going to get us on the ground, get some loot, try to get out there and show you that what the game's about, building, trader, everything. As much as I possibly can. It's going to be kind of chaotic as, you know, we're actually playing the game. And so, if you look, you can see just the sheer number of people that spawn in here. I just chose a random time, and this is what we're seeing right now. It's just always going to be very, very intense when you're here because, like I said, it's going to be the most popular spawn. Looks like we're getting a little bit of lag right there. We're going to be having some lag spikes here and there because of the fact that I am playing on my laptop, but it seems to play pretty well for being played on the laptop, which goes along to say just how much this mod is very, very well done. Obviously, you're going to be wanting to be mindful as you land your parachutes. Going too fast is a bad thing. You will get hurt. You can hear the gunshots and the fires and the parachuters. There is no shortage of action if you're looking for that. We're going to be focusing on looting right now. We got to get some basics. We got to get out of these orange clothes. They're a little bit too much. They're a little bit too noticeable. We got to get ourselves a gun. We got to get ourselves a lot of different stuff. Look at that. We got some clothes already there on the ground. This is a good start. Absolutely. That will make us blend in just a bit better. That orange is just a little too much. It looks like we found ourselves a sweet hat as well. That's going to work right there. Let's see how we go here. Again, it's all about just finding the right loot. Like there's another hat there. I didn't really care for it. If I get into fights, I am going to fight back. Obviously, I am not going to just run away the whole day if I engage in combat. I've never really liked players who did that. But at the same time, I'm not going to be going and looking for fights. As much as you guys might want to see some PvP, I'm sure we can handle that thoroughly. And look at that. There we go. That's exactly what we were needing right there. Now, if we do get in a fight with this gun, we can protect ourselves. Pistols are really good in Arma 3 because they don't have as much recoil, and you can manage with them, and they affect a lot. I'm going to go ahead and have to, limited pack space right now, I'm going to drop that and grab the other clip. Again, look at this. We got ourselves a fantastic water bottle. It didn't pick up, so we're gonna have to go in here, drop one of our clips. The water bottle is very essential. Keeping your food and water up is essential to living. If you let your water drop to 0, you'll be dead within the minutes. That is not good. Obviously, we want to avoid that. So a water bottle, being that it's refillable at multiple locations, is a much more valuable than one clip of pistol ammo. It'll keep you alive longer than that one clip of pistol ammo. Again, as I said before, the goal is to avoid players at this point because we're trying to record the video so you guys can learn a little bit about the game. And actually getting pretty good right now. Look at this. We found ourselves a backpack. Got ourselves some sweet clothes, a sweet hat, and a harness. That harness is going to be amazing. These are storage. We can go over. Let me come up here real quick. I'm actually going to show you real quick what exactly this entails. If you double click on any item, it's going to give you a lot of information. We're talking the amount of mass it takes up, the amount of space it has, and the amount of armor. Obviously, this has no armor, but it has a lot of carrying space. It's going to be really good for gathering up supplies. We're going to want to keep that. And obviously we're avoiding combat anyway, so the armor's not as essential. Now, the backpack, it's about a medium-sized backpack. It holds about half as much of the max as backpacks go, the biggest being the carry-all. But this will work. This will work just fine. For starting out, already having a backpack and a chest rig, I think we're doing pretty good right now. But like I said, these little items that it shows you what's here, you can look it up on any item. It's something that is not usually done that well in most mods. These mods allow you to see everything inside. It gives you description. On certain items like this water bottle right here, you see the recipes right there up at the top. That it allows you to see what can be made with that. This is a big deal. You have if you click on the recipes, then you can find out what it takes to craft that recipe. This is essentially a link to the wiki. Obviously, we're not getting linked out of the game right now, but this is the same information that's on the wiki. We can see what we need and what we need to craft it. Obviously, if we're in the red, we're going to see the stuff we do not have right now. And so, because we do not have it, we obviously will not be using it. We'll not be able to craft it, but we can know what we can look for to get what we need. Alright, obviously, it's the detail that matters when it comes to stuff like this. We really appreciate that detail in the way that a lot of mods forget that sometimes the learning curve is the biggest deal when it comes to this. The learning curve is rough on a lot of mods. This really takes the edge off. And we're going to keep looting up and keep moving through the city. Obviously, if you push forward like I just did, it's going to holster your weapon. You're going to be able to move through a little bit faster. You're going to be able to... Oh, no, none of that hat. That hat's ugly. And look at this. Look at this. We already found a gun. But back to what I was saying about holstering. Holstering is fantastic for moving quickly. It reduces your stamina usage. Stamina's not as big on this as it could be, but it does help when you're entering and exiting combat to have as much stamina as possible. And looks like we got some cool looking clothes. Always a fan of the camo. Probably not as tactical as it could be. And just switch it over, move everything back over. Like I said, but we've already got a pretty good start. Probably not going to want to stick around this town too much. We got a backpack, we got a harness, we have a and a gun and a sidearm. We're pretty much set up to defend ourselves and just keep moving. So, oh, looks like we got a helicopter. You got to be mindful of helicopters. If you've never played Arma 3 before, they can have passengers, and those passengers can fire at you from the passenger seat. So we're going to go ahead and keep on moving along right now. Alright, we got a house coming up here. This house again, every house has the possibility of dropping, which is really good. Like I said, I personally am a huge fan of enjoying. I really enjoy it as a big deal for me. Alright, I'm not really sure where we're going to be going at this point. I'm sure we want to find somewhere where we can show you some of the crafting and building, but at this point, god damn, that is a lot of gunfire. As you can see, we've been here for a while, and there are still people parachuting in. There's still a lot of deaths. Alright, we're going to see this long grass right here. It renders in from a decent distance away, so we can actually use it for pretty good cover, and it allows us to jump into the map. Let's find somewhere that will have some buildings nearby that we might very well be able to use as some cover. Let's see here. There we are. Thera. Look. We want something a little out of the way, but that has stuff that we might be able to loot. That's really what we want, is being able to loot. That will look like it'll work right there. And it's only about 600 meters away. Let's holster and let's get ourselves over there. As we're running, can explain some more features about Exile. Again, sorry if I'm repetitive. I am trying to convey as much information as possible, because I know everybody's pretty hyped up about Exile, and so we want them to be able to play it right off the bat without such a learning curve. Little things, like if you look at the rain right now, everything actually is not just visual with that rain. You see how it's pushing, rain seems to be slanting slightly? That actually means that the rain is being pushed by the wind, and that wind can affect stuff like parachutes. It's a significant thing to keep track of, because of the fact that when you're parachuting in, if the wind's pushing you, you better be facing into the wind a little bit so it doesn't slam you into the ground too hard. They've done that's pretty much Epoch, Arma 3 together. Look at me just referencing Epoch. Oh man, they're gonna be so mad. But no, like I said, Arma 3 altogether. That is pretty standard. Looks like we're coming up on this location right here. It looks like we're gonna get our first look at some of the buildable objects. This is a little disappointing in the way that I was gonna work here and build here, but it allows me to show you something that's already been worked on by another player. This is not mine, of course, but you're going to get a good look at a little bit of the building system for Exile. Coming up here, this is all built out of wood, which is chopped down from trees into logs, and it will, if you look, like I said, this is the primary building substance right now. Everything's built out of wood. I'm sure there will be more added in later, but as of right now, at least the wood looks a lot better. It looks clean. It looks like it's done well. It looks like we got some buildings in there. The roofs are ones I was going for. As you can see, if you run into it, it's not as glitchy as a lot of other mods when it comes to modular building. You can't push through it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it was built to prevent that. Looks like I'm not quite sure if there's going to be people here, honestly. With this being built out here, there might be, there might not be, but there's some pretty good chance for a little bit of loot in here. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look through. This, actually, like I said, this looks like a pretty good location. Looks like we got a backpack here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Obviously, we want the backpack with the most space. We switch it out. And look at this. It's got, if you look at the capacity, the storage capacity, it's going to be the biggest point of backpack. I'm going to switch that between that and the other backpack. Obviously, this one's got a little more. We're going to keep our original backpack. I do like the look of the other one, but I can be a prima donna later. I'm going to go ahead and ignore the clothes. We're going to keep checking for more stuff. Now this looks appealing. As much as I can't be a prima donna in other ways, I can when it comes to certain clothing, because a lot of them do have very similar storage. We're gonna go ahead. Looks like we got some hunting clothing. Very, very cool. Look at that. That's what we're gonna want to look like. I mean, look like I'm hunting in some weird places, but hey, it'll work. It'll work. Look good. We got some duct tape here. That's pretty essential. Duct tape is used for fixing of vehicles. If you can't fix it with duct tape, it does not need to be fixed. So they simplified it. Duct tape is the overall repair tool. Pretty much every building that I've seen is enterable. Oh, look at this. This is a great example. This is what I was hoping for. Something like this. This is a craftable box right here. This box is made by a player and with wood that collected by an axe, and that wood, that box, while it's not lockable that I know of, it is a very good place to stash some stuff. This is, of course, another buildable object here. This is a workbench. We'll go into the usage of a workbench a little bit later when we're handling building, but like I said, these are items that players have created. Like I said, an axe can make your whole world a lot easier. Not quite sure why they have this blocked off. Let's go ahead and go inside here. Oh, looks like we got some food. That's very essential as well. We want to keep our food and water as high as possible. We got to keep a reserve of food and water because you run out, you die. Obviously, not a good thing to die. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and leave this area. Somebody's obviously going to keep working on this. It'd be nice to just check back later and see how they've done with this, but we're going to be building our own too, so that's also very good. Get away from here. We're going to go ahead and put ourselves inside this again and check our map again. It's all about keeping yourself hidden. We're still pretty close to a spawn. Let's go ahead and go take a look over at the trader right now. We're going to be heading over there and getting a nice little trek on our way over to the trader. We're going to talk a little bit more about the mod. I'm going to be cutting the clip pretty soon, actually, in a couple minutes, just so we can keep the video size down. Try to keep it as close to right around 15 minutes as possible. But as you've seen, we've started out. We've got some basic gear, a decent gun, a backpack, some clothes, a chest rig, and we got some supplies. Next stop, obviously, we can stop by the trader and see what's there, give you a quick tour of the trader, and let you know, and then see if there's anything we can pick up that could help us get moving along with actually creating a nice little home for ourselves. Home for convicts. We'll call it cell block chemical. Whatever. Okay. But yeah, no, like I said, it's gonna be fun. I hope you guys don't mind my excessive talking. Again, as I said at the beginning of the clip, I am having to voice over right now and basically tell you what's happening as we play through it. I didn't want to lose the footage because otherwise you're gonna wonder, how did you end up here with no talking? So, like I said, I'm glad you guys are sticking around and waiting it out, and I will see you in the next segment. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right here.